if you can hear me.
I can, yeah.
Okay. I think I'll sit up front so people can
sit in the VIP
hone
seat.
in on me if they
Oh,
need to.
you can sit there. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can sit there. You should actually tell them what's going on.
Sure.
That you're voicing for Marylou and be running the speakeasy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can go back to your private IM with her and maybe kind of guide her slides. Okay. I'm going to watch for an IM.
I actually had gone back, but she hasn't responded.
Okay, that.
Good afternoon, everyone. This presentation is called Empowering Abused Women Through Art. Hope, Art Therapy for Abused Women. The objective is to help students and teaching towards a lifetime learning. The presenter is Lizard of Ours, Dr. Mary Stockbrooke of Arizona State University, Emeritus College. Explore the transformative power of art in aiding recovery and personal growth at this presentation, which highlights the successes of an art program at the Women's Center for Abused Women. Over the past 2 years, the program has engaged from predominantly women, Hispanic women, in creating art for watercolor techniques inspired by Van Gogh, cutout paper weaving, and earring making. This session will showcase how these artistic endeavors have not only fostered a sense of community and support among the participants, but also facilitated their emotional healing and transition from abusive situations. How art can be a vital tool in transforming lives and empowering women to envision and move, move towards a brighter, self-directed future. So the objective is helping students and teaching towards lifelong learning. Number one, Hope for Abused Women by Dr. Mary Stokely, Professor Emeritus at Arizona State University. Number two, Hope Calendar. What is hope? Hope is wishing for a thing to come true. Faith is believing that it will come true. My, my, my neighbor who loves to teach arts and crafts got me involved. We alternated teaching here for 2 years. Guidepost Foundations at guidepost.org. How we help. And then three, introduce yourself like a playing card. Gave 20 women questionnaire, favorite art things, make practical things. What's wrong with you? Several centers for abused women in Phoenix area. This is a licensed doctor at the largest Phoenix center, introducing us to understanding therapy for abuse cases. Scratch art, Sylvia Sad Doggy. It's okay not to be okay, Martha. I'm tired. Number 6, favorite class, making earrings, dolls, barrettes, practical things. Who is Van Gogh? We used wax resistance watercolor. About the famous artist, did you learn about Van Gogh's stressful ringing in the ears, tinnitus? Number 8, trauma tips. Women, mostly Mexican descent, are translating, teaching too. Number 9, and, and excuse me, inventory can come from chaos. Invention can come from chaos. Materials can give form to dark, shapeless substances. Mary Shelley, preface to 1831 edition of Frankenstein. B, B is imitating Frida Kahlo. Number 10 is being creative. Large group acrylic painting, garden cactus, 3 by 6 feet. Number 11, community cafe or community care. A, awareness, resilience or self-care, organizational culture, community engagement. My first job at 16 years old was being a paid nurse's aide, but put myself through community college this way for 2 years. Number 12, self-care. Making art relaxes me. Fill out your own self-care wheel. Maria, happy new teeth. Number 13, sense of humor. A sense of humor is needed to fully enjoy life and get the most from the charity. Laughter is great medicine. That is why the first letter of our name, H, stands for humor. Use your camera to see the details in our mini sim here, and you will see two examples of our humor. First, we are growing DNA. Second, read the blue sign about a rainy day, and then click on it for a free gift. Wear the umbrella gift. It should make you laugh, or at least bring a smile to your face, because this is no ordinary umbrella. Number 14, HWC Mary's art class. Set up my Facebook website. Uh, so there in the chat you will see a link to her website profile. Number 15, making church windows gives me hope. Number 16, classes offered domestic violence, etc. Number 17, drop off donations around back of center. Line cleaning and toilet products. Number 18, fun folk art, Celeste Parcell. Again, you can see the website on the presentation, the Facebook site called Fun Folk Art. Fire danger, shrink art in oven. Number 19, making piñata cards, hung on a wall in hospital for my sister. She died March 2nd of interstitial cystitis and medication overdose. Former nurse with bipolar disorder. 20, teaching schedule. February 2024, 25, now 5 days a week. lacking supervisor to watch children during mom's classes. 21, animal therapy. My sister's cat, Oscar. Are you a woman of wisdom, courage, strength, compassion, and creativity? 22, problem with too many women in one room. 15 women, small room, around large table, babies too. A, group stamping project. 23, suspended teaching. 8, weather is extremely hot, 110 in the summer. 'B, no art classes, women doing only coloring. 'C, enrollment is down in general. 'D, lack of daycare supervisor for children. 'E, no one showed up for individual counseling, reported Sue volunteer. Number 24, Hope Island. Optimism, future mindedness, orientation, and peace tree. A, future work with veterans, League in Mesa, Arizona. Spilled paint. B, teaching explorations in drawing, painting for ASU Emeritus College in September. Projects Hope Island from Second Life Virtual World. You can see the scroll in the chat for the Project Hope Island. Any questions? You can put them in chat. Oh, sorry. Um, so Buffy asked, thanks, Mary. How long have you been teaching art this way? And Lizard said, it's so hard to see and get used to the room, etc. We work so hard on this teaching. I even showed them Second Life. And I said, that's wonderful. Very hard for them to use virtual worlds. Does this program go deep into the teaching the women new values by which they live? Perhaps the program helps them redefine themselves. Yes, some were outlined. They have to attend 4 classes every week to get free food at all. Are there behavior changes strategies offered? This says they help teach class 2. They are Spanish speaking. Are the classes for art or life skill? Both, mostly life skills. Questions. Mary, in my own experience with Produce for Women, I found that many women felt so much better about themselves after our training. Do you find that? Do you do any follow up with your students? Yes, I I am really impressed with what you are doing, uh, Lizard. There is such a great need. With personal contact, or how do you contact them, Lizard? Some individual follow up. Dragon Doe says, pretty sure you defined hope as waiting for something. Can you please be more specific as to what they are waiting for? In response to Buffy's earlier question, Lizard says, they call my colleague on the phone, occasionally friends. Lizard said, it is still a good program. Others teaching in 10 other centers in Phoenix area. Lizard, Buffy asks, you mentioned you have classes in Second Life. What are some of the challenges you faced with teaching in World? Dragon Doe asks, are you in contact with Creative Forces? Melissa Walker in partnership with NEA. It's a local center. Dragon Doe says, through the Creative Forces experiment masks, it was found that part of the brain that holds the trauma is the same part of the brain that makes art. That's fascinating. Lizard says, I did attend training centers in Phoenix proper. Dragon Doe says there's a great article online by National Geographic and also a TED Talk by Melissa Walker. Are there any more questions? Buffy asks, you mentioned you have classes in Second Life. What are some of the challenges you faced in with teaching in World? And Lizard asks, um, Dragon Doe, if they could please send the National Geographic and TED Talk links. And Lady Alicia asks to have those links as well. And I would love to have them as well myself. Lizard says, I taught my university students on Second Life for nearly 10 years. Lizard points out that technical problems were an issue, but they learned together. And Dragon shared the links. That's wonderful, Dragon. Buffy asks, what advice would you give to anyone new wanting to teach in Second Life? Lizard says, be prepared. Tell students that I am learning with them too. That is so true. And I think that it is really important for students to understand that we as educators are learning too. Lizard says, good luck, everyone. Buffy asks, how does your program find funding? Is it up to you? Lizard asks, what other art projects would you try? Lizard says she likes roof painting. Marcus says building brims. Lizard says, I did it with retired people. Val says for PTSD veterans, there is a group in SL called Echo Group, Band of Brothers. Buffy loves trying and learning the use of AI for art. I think storytelling is another art that people can do. It's not uh, visual art, but Dragons is drawing, coloring a personal map of unknown territory a survivor has found himself in after the point of trauma, to include markers on the map representing things they've learned in the aftermath. Great idea. And Lizard says mapping. Send us an example too. Oh, Dragon Doe tells us that they are professional artists specializing in trauma healing. One of my personal pieces is a 3D plaster of Paris torso that I painted. It was made on a real human with the process used to make a cast. Wow. Dragon says to clarify, the blank was made that way. I took it from there to make it express. Visser says, wow, real human. And she is asking for Dragon for your email and where you live. Uh, Dragon Doe is Google Broadcasting for Art, your website. What you're saying to Google Broadcasting for Art. Dragon or Lizard says the women would be too sensitive to it. Rabia says that Kimberly is just down the road from her. Kimberly is in Texas. Okay, everybody, it's time to wrap up. Thank you so much for your presentation, Lizard, and we will see you all later at the conference.